Taylor will return. Low snap. Stiggy fields it. On one hop, Otis Taylor will try the right side. And lose yardage on the return. They'll spot the football at the 23 of Oklahoma. Scott Baldwin, a backup running back on the special teams tackle. And now here comes Cale Gundy, the freshman we talked about, from Midwest City, Oklahoma. That's right up the road north of Norman. Joined in the backfield by Mike McKinley and Duell Brewer, who's the leading rusher for the Sooners, nearly 800 yards on the year. Warren and Otis Taylor, you just saw him on the return. They're the receivers. And 6'6" Adrian Cooper is the tight end. Rashid will start at fullback as they line up in the I. Duell Brewer for a gain of about 4. Reggie Cooper made the stop. Told you Gundy is from Midwest City, Oklahoma. So is the starting center from the same high school, Randy Wallace, for Oklahoma.
Jim, he also could be the most improved player on this Oklahoma team, Wallace. And outside of him, you've got Medis, the strongest player, academic All-Big 8, and the captain, Sawatsky, outside of him. And then there's Miller and Manning outside. Now, Manning's about as big as you'll see as a college player, 6'2", 335 pounds. But Houston, who's been hurt with a knee, moves up and gets the start today.
2nd and 7. Brewer again in the open. Past the 40 and bumped out of bounds at the 43-yard line. First down for the Sooners.
Watch the right side of this offensive line. We told you it's big, it's strong. You see Houston there get his block, push him inside, and then the hole opens up and he just explodes right through it. One thing about Oklahoma, it can run and run effectively, and they will test your perimeter. As soon as you stock up on the perimeter, bring up your safety, get your outside linebackers closing down, the middle becomes soft and they'll attack you there.
Brewer was last year's Freshman of the Year in the Big 8, an award this year that was given to Cale Gundy just last night. On 1st and 10, here's the freshman hot shot, completing his pass to Taylor into Nebraska territory, inside of the 40. A gain of 18.
Talked about Cale Gundy a lot in the past. Most freshmen don't know if the ball is pumped or stuffed. He is very poised, confident, and competitive. This is about as difficult a pass as you can make. Running to your left, then throwing back without any leverage. And he puts it right there for Otis Taylor. Taylor, by the way, starting for Ted Long, who's banged up and out of the game.
Long out with a wrist injury. Gundy, only the 3rd true freshman to ever start at quarterback for Oklahoma. Troy Aikman, remember, he played here first before UCLA. And Jamel Holloway were the other two. And Brewer gains about 5 to the 34. Hit by Pat Engelbert. And speaking of Engelbert, it starts right there, middle guard, with the junior from Columbus, Nebraska.
He's got to be classified as an overachiever. He had a week off, helped his shoulder, which was banged up. Then you've got Sims and Kenny Walker. Doc told you about Kenny Walker early in the telecast. Only 5% body fat. Tremendous talent. Then Petco and Tyrants. Hill and Kroll are about as good as you'll see. They could run away from Broderick Thomas, but you've got now duo guys outside that are just as good. So now you have to pick these spots.
On 2nd and 5, Rashid stuffed after a yard. Continues to fight, and he fumbled the football. Nebraska has it. Mike Kroll comes up with it.
Here it is again. Rashid fighting for that extra yardage. 238 pounds. He gets stood up by the linebacker. There's Jefferson, number 98, and then there's 40 and 30 right there, Tyrants. But his knee hit. I'm not sure that's a fumble. Matter of fact, it's not. They're going to say that Oklahoma maintains the football.
You know, he was stuffed long enough where they had to have blown the whistle. Kroll came up with it, but it's Oklahoma football. They're going to say he was whistled down before the exchange. So on 3rd down, they go inside again. Oklahoma comes up about a yard shy. Brewer had the run. Mike Petco hit him.
Jim, let me make this point. Oklahoma attacked the perimeter early, then came back and hit the middle, just as we expected they would do. They watched a lot of film of the Colorado game against Nebraska, and in that 4th quarter, when Colorado came back to win it, they penetrated the middle and got all their yardage up through the middle blasts.
So now goal attempt coming up for R.D. Lasher, with the punter, Brad Waddell, holding. This is the last game for Lasher. He's been the kicker for 3 years from Plano, Texas. 49-yard attempt. No good. Second possession of the day for Oklahoma. Rashid remains the fullback, Brewer the tailback. Gundy on the option, and a stick put on him back at the 17 by Travis Hill, a good young player from Carrollton, Texas.
Boy, there's one of those outside linebackers we were telling you about. They've got Kroll on one side and Hill on the other. He's mature beyond his years. You mentioned he grew up in Texas. They've got high school systems there where football is a major part of the life. He's always served as an outside guy. He's strong, he's quick. Just played that pitch man that time and made an outstanding defensive play.
Coaches say he's very mature for his age. Travis Hill, just a sophomore. Charlie McBride, the defensive coordinator at Nebraska, loves him as a player. Second and 13, Gundy. Able to flick it and complete it at the 36. That's an Oklahoma first down.
There is a flag, though, Jim. I think it's going to be holding against Oklahoma, so they'll probably bring this one back.
They have been flagged for it. Second down, 22 for the Sooners. Midway first quarter, no score. On the draw, it's Brewer. Going out of bounds, 13 for the Sooners. Play action, and Gundy rifles it to Taylor, incomplete. His defender had fallen down. No pressure. Waddell rips this one down to the 38. Here comes Hughes. Hughes shakes free at the 50 and into Oklahoma territory on the good return. Brian Bennett kicks away. Brewer has it. Brewer races to the 25.
He's got to throw a little bit more than that. He also has to challenge the corners a little bit on the option.
Comes out with a new look. No tight end. On first down, McKinley is the fullback. That was a run by Ernest Williams, a freshman from Aurora, Colorado. And no gain for Williams. Second and 10, McKinley and Williams in the backfield. Quick pass across the middle, out of the way. Kroll almost got it on the deflection. Mike Petco put a paw on it to spoil the Sooner plans.
He would overrun plays. Coaches had to sit him down, pull the reins a little bit.
Showing blitz. Here they come. Gundy almost loses his footing. Now will break free and has the first down easily.
Should be a flag there, hitting him out of bounds, and here it comes.
A whole sea of yellow coming in there as Gundy picks up the first on an 18-yard run. It looked like Mike Kroll on the late hit.
That was almost more flagrant than the Mickey Joseph hit out of bounds. Mickey was pushed. This time they actually went after Cale Gundy. Watch this now. First he makes a great decision to pull it down and run. And once he gets into the secondary, he goes out of bounds. He's dead meat right there. You've got to stop that play, but instead they drive him into the bench area.
Almost identical on the other sidelines. They drove Joseph into the bench to the Oklahoma defense, and now the Nebraska team returns the favor.
It's unusual to see a guy like Mike Kroll taking that shot out of bounds, too. He's a senior. Outstanding player, only starter from last year back in that front five. Rated as a #1 draft pick in the NFL.
Tim, that penalty brings the football to the 43 of Nebraska. Oklahoma on that side of the field for the second time here in the first quarter. Came up empty early with a missed field goal. Inside, McKinley.
Back to you guys.
Second and 8. Confirms exactly what he had told us. Williams fumbling the football. And recovered by the Nebraska defense. Now the punt. Stiggy almost has it blocked. Otis Taylor, fair catch called and made at the 13. It is 3-0 Nebraska.
For 18 yards.
From deep in his own territory on first down. motion and hitting Taylor, the wingback, hit him right off the shoulder pad. Lucky to recover that one.
You know what he did? He took that reverse pivot. As soon as he squared up, you could see that he was under pressure and had to get rid of it. Here's the reverse pivot. Here comes the pressure. Boom. Get it outside. And Taylor wasn't even looking for the ball. Hit him right there on the shoulder pad. Bounced up and hit him in the face. Lucky to get that one back.
And even game 2 on the play. Nebraska doubling the time of possession on the Sooners.
Jim, if you're the pitch man, you cannot take your eyes off the quarterback. You've got to be able to receive it anytime he feels pressure.
Similar to the Colorado I-bone. They bring Taylor out in motion, go straight ahead, do they? Oklahoma and Brewer carrying the football about 4 yards short of the first. It'll be 3rd and 4. Joe Sims gets credit for the tackle. The two backs, Taylor in motion. 3rd and 4. Short side of the field, they'll run it. Brewer has the first down. Look at him go past the 40. And near midfield before Bird bumps him out. Mike McKinley, the fullback, gave him a clearing block, Timmy. And Brewer picks up 32 yards.
Boy, watch the blocking here, and watch the fullback come and get one. Here they come right away. They'll roll it, and they'll rock it. McKinley's number 31 gets the block on the corner. Bang, right there, knock him out. How about the block by Larry Medice? The right guard pushed everything back inside, and once Brewer got outside, then only the pursuit angle stopped him. Boy, what a block by Mike McKinley, though, the fullback. Those two fullbacks alternate, and what that does is it gives these guys freshness in the 4th period.
Here he is running the ball now. And look at him go. Fumble on the tail end of it. Looks like Gundy, of all people, recovered it.
2 fumbles in this series. They got them both back.
Down 3 from the 40 of Nebraska. That's McKinley again. And the big fella picks up the first we've had this year. Trailing 3-0. Sooners on the drive here early in the 2nd quarter. Fake. Gundy has it. It gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Travis Hill stayed out there with him. So did Kenny Walker. Linebacker. 2nd down 10. Gundy. Short drop. Great protection. Going long for Cooper. And touchdown, Oklahoma. Yard strike. Gundy to Adrian Cooper, and the 6'6" tight end showing great agility coming back over the other shoulder to make the diving grab in the back of the end zone. Lasher adds the PAT, and Oklahoma has the lead 7-3.
Number 1, look at the protection he gets from Wallace, Medice, and Sawatsky right in front of him. 4.5 seconds Gundy has right here to throw this football. Finally goes to his tight end. Now watch the adjustment he makes. Looks over his right shoulder, comes back for his left shoulder. I wasn't sure he had possession. I don't think he was sure he had possession. He definitely bobbled the football. Look, it's up on his shoulder. He's across the plane. Now, does he have possession? Yes. Brings it in, tucks it away. Touchdown, Oklahoma. That's a great play by Adrian Cooper. Tremendous adjustment, looking back into the sun to make that catch.
Cale Gundy throws the touchdown pass. He has now thrown for 839 yards on the season. As you look at the graphic, top passing rookie seasons. This is not for just freshmen. This is guys in their first year as quarterback, like Mildred, ineligible as a freshman back in those days.
Adrian Cooper making the touchdown, Jim. He's 6'6", has that long stride, and here's Tyrone Bird, who's only 5'11".
Stiggy, a 3.7 grade point average, pre-veterinarian major. And a fair catch makes the All-Big 8 team. Colorado had 11 players on the All-Big 8 team, and Nebraska 6. Johnny Mitchell, the freshman tight end, punt on the offensive line. Walker, Kroll, Tyrants, and Cooper on D. And for the Sooners, well, Scott Evans was back again for the 3rd time. He was the only member. Scott Evans defensive tackle. Half the team, though, all Big 8 team, belong to the Buffaloes of Colorado, the conference champions. First and 10, Oklahoma from the 35. Straight ahead with second down and 6. Brewer
having a tough time keeping things in perspective here with Oklahoma's offense. They lead the Big 8 defensively in pass defense, total defense, scoring defense, but Oklahoma's been moving on them.
Third and 3 for the Sooners. Brewer again. And he's going to be short of the first by about a yard. A good punt. Fair catch called by Hughes. Oklahoma is set up at the 13.
This will put your eyeballs in your forehead. Watch this. Bang! Receiver never even had a chance to look around. Turner, we told you his head would be on a swivel when he comes around that middle. He may go back and beg off next time.
May permanently be on a swivel after that one. Joel Brewer. All the way to the 3, near a first down. Second and less than a yard. Rashid will have the first.
9-1 and beat Georgia Tech in the bowl. If they're unbeaten, they've got a shot at it. Notre Dame and Miami both win in their bowls.
First and goal, Rashid short of the goal. Gundy keeps, and Gundy does not score.
At least not yet. There it is.
Yes, he passes. Squirming at the bottom of the pile and getting it across.
Once the linesman loses sight of the ball carrier, he's got to come in and see where the push ended.
To the Dockster. John?
You know, Jim Nance, we were talking earlier in the game about the deaf defensive tackle Kenny Walker for Nebraska. Well, behind me, you might be able to see his interpreter. That's Mimi Mann, who will go into the locker room in a few minutes with Kenny and stand next to him as Charlie McBride and Tom Osborne give instructions. She will then translate it for Kenny as they go into the locker room. Okay, back to you guys.
Mimi Mann, she's a great lady and has been very close with Kenny Walker here. A loss on the play. Kroll wrapping up Brewer. Had the chance to talk to Mimi Mann and find out a little more about that special relationship, helping out Kenny Walker here as his interpreter during his career at Nebraska.
See big number 88, Mike Kroll, come across. He'll make this play on the outside again. But speaking about Kenny Walker, he's just an inspiration to all of us. Now, he was a linebacker, stand-up linebacker, but he couldn't hear all the calls, obviously. He couldn't make the calls, so they put him as a down player where he just looks into the nose guard. You just saw him there and get hand signals.
Second and 13. Gundy takes a hit after releasing this one. Ball is up for grabs. It may have been caught by Cooper. A jump ball and a catch by Oklahoma inside the 10. Out-jump the two Tyrones, Tyrone Bird and Tyrone Leggett.
This is the second outstanding catch he's made today. This is not a particularly good throw. It's underthrown. The defensive guys come in. They think they have it, and they do. What happens is Cooper just takes it away from him. Watch this now. Here they go up. You see Bird and Leggett. Leggett's got it right there. It's in his hands, number 3, and big old Cooper just takes it away from him. Boy, Gundy took a pretty good lick from Engelbert after he released it, but it's another marvelous catch by Cooper.
An alley-oop, and Oklahoma is set up inside of the 10.
And another Cale Mary from Cale Gundy.
McKinley driving and scoring for Oklahoma.
In the red zone of Oklahoma territory.
Stiggy, a former walk-on. Punt once again. Under no pressure. Big high punt. Gets the coverage team down there in time. Takes a favorable Nebraska bounce. And is down.
You never want to let that ball hit the ground.
Ernest Williams and Kenyon Rashid in the backfield. Gundy keeps it. And is smacked after about a 2-yard gain.
Never can tell what'll happen. They're just going to let them run the clock out and go into the locker room trailing 21-3.
Gundy will just down it.
Don't understand it.
Well, the Huskers thoroughly beaten up in the second quarter. That's the end of the first half. A second quarter that was all Sooners. They lead it 21-3 over Nebraska. We'll be right back. Has to come back strong in the second half, trailing 21-3. Here comes Oklahoma and Otis Taylor. Taylor shaken free. Finally taken down by Tyrone Leggett at the 24. Now, what does Tom Osborne have up his sleeve in the second half? John Dockery spoke to him.
Well, I don't think particularly flat. We just had some things that went against us. You know, a couple big plays that they made, a couple turnovers. And we need to make a big play and get something turned around or get some momentum.
Anything special for the second half?
Well, we're going to we'll throw the ball some, obviously. We've got to get our running game going, too.
Good luck, Coach.
Both have been non-existent to this point. From the 25, the pitch by Gundy to Dewell Brewer. Fumbled, but they'll rule him down at the 31. Reggie Cooper on the hit.
Tell you something else, Jim. You mentioned the turnovers. Oklahoma 14 points off those turnovers. And more importantly, they lost Mickey Joseph in the second series after a 13-yard run. And Nebraska, which averages 362 yards, has only 76 here in this ball game as you look at the statistics. Grant, 5 for 12, has actually thrown the ball more than Gundy. Gundy's 3 for 5. So it's been an interesting concept thus far in this ball game. I think both teams are showing a lot of speed. Thus far, the cutback runs have not been effective. They got to start cutting back and finding creases.
Second and 4. Randy Wallace will snap it to Gundy. Gundy keeps. Picks up the first. Fumbles the ball. And there's the break Nebraska needed. Tyrone Leggett on the recovery.
Just that quickly. Gundy on the option reads it correctly and steps underneath the perimeter. Once he gets underneath the contain from Kroll, see there? Now he'll take it up, but he still hadn't tucked it away. He's got the ball on the inside instead of his outside arm. Now here comes the pressure. There's the swat that just knocked it loose. It was Kroll
After the turnover. But it's 21-10. Otis Taylor will run it back now for Oklahoma. Oh, there's a stick. Penland on the hit for Nebraska. Football action coming your way. Pitt, Coach Paul Hackett, can he get his team fired up for Penn State? Well, it's a great rivalry. They should be ready. Penn State's won 8 games in a row. They'll be at home against the Panthers. We'll have it for you.
Boy, if you can't get fired up for that one, Coach Hackett has really struggled this year with his ball club. That'd be a big win for him. They've got to get ready for the Nittany Lions.
Good fake by Gundy. Finds his open man. It's Cooper. Runs over one defender. What a big day Adrian Cooper's having for Oklahoma. Sets him up on first down. Dewell Brewer bouncing around. More or less away from Kroll and Walker. They're running it. Second and 8. Rashid. Well, there's Walker, Petco, and others. LaAndre Anderson. Third down play. The pass well overthrown. Intended for Corey Warren.
It's just whether Nebraska seizes the opportunity or not.
Tyrone Hughes, the only man back. Oh, Riddell got it away. And did he punt it? It went all the way into the end zone on the fly. 50 recovery in this game. Leading 21-10. Oklahoma right ahead.
It's about 3 miles 5 times a week. Hastings College, pretty good player himself.
Second and 4. Brewer off the pitch. Kroll has him nearing the midway point of the third quarter. Oklahoma leading 21-10 and threatening. Fullback McKinley easily with the first. First and goal from the 7. McKinley scoring for the second time today. 27 come in here and take the football away from Mike Grant.
Grant does try to cut back against the pursuit, but there's the strip right there, and the ball's knocked out. No question about it being a fumble. More importantly, that's the 4th turnover for Nebraska. That's been killing them in this ball game.
6'7" Stacy Dillard forces the turnover. Back come the Sooners with the big lead, 28-10. 6:30 to go in the third. Option time. Gundy off right tackle, and he is swung down by the jersey, Travis Hill. Second down and 9. This looks like a pass. Struer gets it away lamely, and it's incomplete. They gave it to Brewer. He is dropped for a loss. Coming after Riddell, but he easily gets it away. One hop, Hughes. Down sideline, bound we are to John Dockery.
Jim, I'm actually up in the stands, and we've been talking about Kenny Walker overcoming the adversity of deafness to become a star. Well, Mimi Mann has been on that odyssey with Kenny, and Mimi, so much success. How has it been with you and Kenny?
It's been a pure joy. It's been a joy not only to have the opportunity to work with this incredible program, with these incredible coaches, but also with this incredible young man.
We want to watch this play with Jim Nance, and then we'll come back. I want to ask you something else.
Huskers first down from their 24. Grant goes short. And that's Baldwin with the reception all the way out to the 47. Back to Doc.
Mimi, you've overcome so many obstacles, yet you're watching Kenny play his last game today. What kind of feelings is that evoking you?
Today, I feel bittersweet memories. This has been 5 years of memory makers for me, and even though he leaves and we aren't together every day like we are now, nobody can take away my memories, and I'll have those to cherish.
We'll go back to you, Jimmy, for a minute, and then Kenny's mother, Julia's here as well.
Now, after a gain of 23, Lance Lewis runs it right to the midfield stripe, Doc.
Julia, did you always know, did you ever think that Kenny would achieve this kind of success in such a difficult sport?
No, not really. Not to this point. It's great.
Was he always a fighter? You must be very proud of him.
Yes, always a fighter, and I am very proud of him.
Especially on this Thanksgiving Day. Well, congratulations to both of you. Jimmy?
Doc at 2nd and 7. Williams is the eye back. Gets the carry. Swinging around for a pass. In this game, 38 runs, only 8 passes, but they've been so dominant on the ground. Gundy picks up the football after it bounced right back.
Was cooking some black and redfish. Hurt my hand. Out here, Norman.
Nice job. Gundy on 3rd and 4. Taken down by Tyrants.
Gundy's hurt. Gundy's hurt seriously. He's in pain.
Starting quarterback from Nebraska has already been taken out today. Face mask against the Nebraska defense. And now the Oklahoma starter, Cale Gundy, the freshman, in agony on the field.
Don't want to guess on the injury, but from up here, it almost looked like his legs got tucked in under him, and he came down in a funny direction on his legs.
This is brother Mike Gundy. Center of your screen, he is the Big 8 total offense all-time record holder from Oklahoma State. And the face mask and perhaps the left leg buckling under.
Boy, he was all out of sync there. It looked like his legs got caught under him. His neck was forced by the face mask. Watch this. Now his left leg is underneath of him right now. His head is bent backwards as well. And they're still working on him. Here's another different angle. Watch his left ankle, his left shoulder, his left arm, and his neck on that side were all kind of tucked in and forced under. And you had Kroll and Tyrants both there. Well, that's a good sign. He's up and he's moving. And everything seems to be in order and working.
Mike Gundy Gundy is now the receivers coach at his alma mater, Oklahoma State, but came over today to watch brother Cale play. Spent Thanksgiving together with the family last night.
What an outstanding player, too, Jim. Most prolific passer in the history of Oklahoma State University. But for all its success, was never able to beat Nebraska. And that's why his brother Cale came out and said he's dedicating this game for his brother.
Steve Collins takes over at quarterback. They have a first down after the penalty, the face mask penalty. And the sprint. Last year, he quarterbacked in this game against Nebraska and rushed for over 70 yards. Pass for another 100. He's a good option operator. And he comes in now for the injured Gundy. 2nd and 7. Here he pitches it to Williams. Williams shakes free for the first. John?
You know, Jim, if you follow me in a little bit like this, you might be able to see that they're working on Cale Gundy's left arm and around the elbow. And they've actually just frozen it. He was in some pain, but didn't appear to be that injured. And you see him standing up right now, trainer talking to him, but it was the left arm, left elbow. Appears to be okay. Back to you guys.
It was that whole left side that got caught under there in a funny way.
But that's good news, it appears. First down play for the Sooners. Inside, McKinley roaming free. Look at him push down Bird. McKinley races in for his 3rd touchdown of the game. Taylor will run back another one. Boy, he drilled that one back to the 21. Taylor hesitates, now goes up the middle. And is knocked down by George Akova. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a
close ball game. Couldn't even decide which team was the favorite. And now it's 42-10 Oklahoma.
And Gundy returns. Kind of wrapping on his left elbow, but he's back in.
That's serious. It just means it bent back the wrong way and stretched some things in there, and you just tie it down and go. But I agree with you. I don't think he should be in there. Coach Gibbs said he wanted to look at this, evaluate some people for next year. He knows what Cale Gundy can do.
2nd and 8. Why are they passing? Rashid dragged down to the 34. That's about 2 yards short of the first. Andre Anderson brought him down. And let's bring back in John Dockery. Doc?
You know, Tim, you and Jim, you and Tim were speculating about why Gundy's back in. Well, it was interesting to watch along the sidelines. Gary Gibbs was very unsure about whether to send Gundy back in, so they had a little powwow with the trainer and the coach and Gundy. And Gundy was the one that was very aggressive about going back into the game, almost talked his way back in the game. Because I kind of agree with you guys. Why in the world would you risk your future and present in a game like this when you had 42-10?
No reason to at all. 3rd and 2. Inside run by Rashid, and he tries to lean for the first. It'll depend on the spot. It will drop to 9 and 2 and head on to the Citrus Bowl to face Georgia Tech January 1. Ernest Williams. That's Rashid picking up a first tackle. Trying to remain upbeat. This will be by far his biggest win in 2 years at Oklahoma. 2nd and 11, Collins keeps. Moves it into Nebraska territory. Linebacker was Gibbs. 3rd and 7. No first down as Mike Kroll on one spot. Riddell handles the low snap. Fair catch called. Joe Bowden, who told us, you may have heard it earlier, he said, I just don't see a way we can lose. I don't think they can run on us. He was very confident about his defense. And they really have dominated today. 2-10 Oklahoma. Steve Collins remains the quarterback. There's a stick at the line. Ernest Williams on the run. Lance Lewis of Nebraska every game. Second down 9. Collins keeps on the option, and he's double whammy.
Of course, Detmer burned his talents into the memory banks of all.
3rd and 12.
Great games, and they say he might be for real.
50-yard attempt by Lasher. Oh, no. That one was going sideways from the start. He is picked off. He is intercepted by Tony Levy. Turnover number 7. Yesterday we both had 2 feasts, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. Collins still has the trail man over 2 big 8 teams. 2 big 8 players were 1-2 in that stat. Rushing yards.
Ball Hackett and Pitt going against the hot Penn State team coming off that win against Notre Dame.
Settle for a non-January 1 bowl. That is a great matchup. 2:30 left. Ernest Williams to the 12. Sheed and McKinley, who scored the 3 touchdowns. 177 yards from the fullback spot.
Of course, Rashid's like a tailback playing in a fullback's body, 238-pounder, and then you bring in McKinley. McKinley has all the scores. Got 2 fullbacks going for a combined almost 1,000 yards.
Ernest Williams bouncing on 4.
Thorough enough if you're wearing a white jersey today.
Collins with a fake. Pat Tyrants takes his 3rd field goal try of the day. Four-yard attempt is good with only 9 seconds left.
Well, you don't want to run the score up, but in all fairness to Oklahoma, Lasher's been struggling. Really has been down a little bit, hadn't been able to kick the ball very well. So maybe they're giving him a shot. I just wouldn't have done it. I would have downed the ball right then. Let the clock run.
Could have downed it. The game would be over by now.
Absolutely.